right, let's see if you guys can hear me now. Do a little bit of a test. Let me know if you guys can hear me. There may be a bit of an echo as I test it as well. Okay, I can hear myself. You guys let me know if you can hear me. There's just a slight echo for a second. It's because I had to take the sound off. Let's see. As you guys, all right, cool. All right, so if you guys look to the bottom of this window, you're going to see something else. It's going to say KTS Bucks or KTX Buck Leaderboard. Basically, these are things that we're going to kind of see if they're working or if they're not working. Like I said, still trying to figure it out. It says offline, but I don't think it's offline. I think it's online, but we'll figure it out. So basically what KT Bucks are is for every 10 minutes that you guys are kind of logged in and watching, you'll receive one of them, and you'll be able to put them towards different things. If you right now, like I said, it's still kind of coming online at this point. We'll see when things start going up there, but they'll be current, all-time things as well. Oh yeah, look! There are people with some KTX Buzz. Okay, mine says live. Okay, it may just be mine. Like I said, I'm logged in from like 2 different areas, so we'll see what it does. Like I said, there's all-time people, and then there's it says current, so we'll see. So, like I said, what it'll do is, depending on if you guys are, followers, subscribers, there's different things you guys can do in here. There's different, if you're a subscriber, you get twice as many bits, but you'll be able to purchase things. So right now, to kind of test it out, what I've done is I've thrown in, like I said, I think the store is live, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically, nobody will be able to hit the store tonight, obviously. But what it is like, say when you get 250 KTS bucks, you'll be able to purchase like a 30-minute mentor session live, like one-on-one type situation. So basically by watching, you get rewarded, and then you guys can buy cool things. And, eventually in time, I'll put like hats and t-shirts and that kind of stuff up there, access to different things, and, have a little bit of fun with it. This kind of, this edition here as well will also, the Streamlabs leaderboard, it'll do giveaways and drawings and all this other stuff too. So there's a lot of stuff that it will do. We will see how it, how well it functions as we kind of test it out right now. So yeah, we'll see. All right. So interesting day today. Obviously the indices kind of went a little bit crazy today, right? Again, there was pullbacks and things. Let's just dive into kind of, obviously where we always start. Let's look over at Forex Factory. So, typical summer day, basically. We had dollar CAD and also yen were the only two things really moving. Everything else was kind of just kind of slow. And again, it's one of those days that, indices were great, but everything else was a little bit difficult to trade. Every time I didn't trade anything today, every time I looked at it, there was just nothing that I really loved. I know some of you guys got into some things today, and that's awesome. I didn't have any great timing. And again, I did say this, earlier in the week that Thursday could be a dead day. There was nothing today. Not even any medium news. Tomorrow looks like it'll be a better day for us to be able to try to, get something out of it. But today just really wasn't that great. And it's fun. It's one of those things that's kind of funny. Like you have the euro dollar here and the pound dollar, and they're both down. But then how are the two? Basically the three, how is it that the dollar is strong here, but then weak here, right? Again, it was, weak here, right? It is what it is. It's just funny when it's red all the way across the board typically. And again, they're all mixed. Basically the pound over here, the pound dollar is the only one that at least was consistent in 24 hours. So, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. All right. Let me see. I think that's okay. That's working right there. I think we're good there. All right. Like I said, I'm trying to see if this is looking at the current leaderboards and stuff like that. So we'll find out in 10 minutes if you guys all pop up and you have one thing, whether it's working or it's not working. Kind of curious now. All right, so nothing really crazy, right? Going into tomorrow morning is when we have the pound numbers. And again, this is what I've been kind of talking about all week as a, kind of high potential here, right? GDP, manufacturing production, as well as preliminary GDP quarter over quarter. Any of these numbers, really two of them are the same, but GDP or manufacturing, either of these two things could really set the pound on edge. Where we are in the charts too, we'll kind of see it. It's interesting too, because when you're looking at the previous is 0.2, it was better than what it was now. So they're expecting worse And same thing for the preliminary as well as the month over month. And manufacturing is supposed to be down. There was a little bit of growth, but they're saying that manufacturing is pulling back too. Now, this is all bad, but here's the thing: the market has already kind of factored that in, right? Like the market is already saying, "Oh, wait a second, this is supposed to be bad, and this is supposed to be bad, and this is supposed to be bad." Okay, let's just factor that in, right? So that's kind of what makes it a little bit interesting, because if it is good numbers, then the market's going to have to correct very, very fast. All right. And that's where kind of the fun of this is going to be tomorrow morning. Now, going into the 8:30 number, it's also not bad, right? The 8:30 number, you have the pound employment change and unemployment rate. Those could be pretty interesting. The employment change is supposed to be good. I mean, we're only talking about 15,000 jobs, but it's the Canadian economy. It's not the U.S. I mean, U.S. you're talking about, it's going to be, it's going to be, 150,000 or 200,000. But obviously that's a little bit different when we're talking about, the Canadian dollar. So we'll see. Like I said, I think it's going to be either a dollar CAD or a CAD yen type trade tomorrow morning on that one. But just be careful as well, because you do have the core PPI data as well. So again, that's supposed to be that's supposed to be 0.2. It's supposed to be less than what it was previously, but yeah, we'll see. Like I said, there is you could have that washout effect, but the CAD employment numbers should be what kind of leads us tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Really, dollar CAD is the only pair that actually met its ATR for the day today. Aussie yen did not. It was pretty close, but dollar CAD was the only one. So with that said, let's jump over into our charts. All right. Let's start over here. All right. So talked about this yesterday. We talked about there being a little bit of a pullback. Okay. Again, there was a bit of an entry. You could have taken an entry and kind of chopped this down. And again, it kind of turned where we thought it would turn, right? I mean, here's a nice kind of explosive move right here. If you didn't pick this one out, you'd have to watch it, right? We talked about last night about, trying to retrace this back down again. And again, what it did is it bounced, and it had a really, really nice bounce. Okay. Didn't really get much of an entry into this area. It's still something that I'd like to take over, but this bounce is pretty nice. And again, when we got the kind of retracement here off of this zone, again, where did it go back down to? It went down to the start of the move. You guys see where the line here, where it bounced off of? So again, the Aussie yen was something that you could have taken advantage of today. And again, it went off this zone that we had seen previously up here. And again, it's the kind of that really kind of quick entry that we talked about, right? The failure to go higher. It was a pretty smooth kind of push in, 4 candles out, and again, that was kind of the start of this long downtrend. Okay, where we are right now. So here's the thing. Okay, if you're looking at this on a daily, we are very, very close to an anchor break situation. Okay. Obviously, the red body up here is kind of signifying that, listen, it's no more downtrend, and that's literally where we're sitting right now. Okay. Really, right now, I'd be very cautious of this. We are at the top. It does look like it's driving on the 4-hour. You can see, again, this 4-hour zone is the one over here drawn on the 30-minute. There's a little bit above, but we're kind of sitting there right now. So at this point, if it is able to close or, break above this line, again, we are kind of in an anchor break to where we should be looking for long trades at this point. So, again, what you could do is you could extend this across and, again, kind of do something like this. We'll duplicate this and we'll change it to a different color. We'll change it to... We'll change it to red, right? And we'll move this up. Okay, if you want to extend this across, you could do something along these lines like this. Okay, we could be looking for a breakout above top, which would also be the anchor break, and then wait for a retest down here to go higher. Okay, if it's a clean kind of something like this, where it's clean past it, that could be the, could be something we're looking to do to go to the top side. Again, that's because we are in an anchor break right now. Now, it does need to break through this level, this 72, what is it, 72.27, 72.25 to 72.40, basically. Again, we do know there's sellers up here. Prices come up to here, touched. Again, it did it here, here, and here. So this will actually be the 4th attempt to punch through that area and those sellers. And again, if it does do it, it will probably pull back, but again, it could actually be, it may hold this 4th time and push us back down again. And if you are taking that trade, again, be cautious of this little bounce right here, this kind of sideways. It's kind of getting chopped down. The old profit target was kind of replaced by this area. So just be a little bit cautious. Had you taken this trade, again, wasn't a bad little kind of runner to the downside. It was, what, 50 pips? Okay. Actually, hold on. It moved on me there. There you go. Yeah, about 52 pips to the downside. And that risk is the same risk we had before, that 14. So things have kind of been retracing back down. I don't know if anybody grabbed that, but again, you had the ability to do that. based off of this, again, the same level that we saw before, which led to this initial reaction. Okay, just be very, very cautious. We break out the top. That again, we are starting to go, in an anchor break territory. Now, look in the Aussie New Zealand. Let that load. Grab some tea. Hold on. All right. So a little bit of a pullback in this one, right? We had this really, really big push up. You guys know what this was. This was that news kind of launching this thing higher. And again, you can see, we had that large extended range. It didn't really give us too much of a retracement. It literally popped and then just has really kind of gone sideways from here, right? It is still making higher highs on the 4 hour, so not necessarily ready to take this short yet. You guys can see there was a bit of a wick over wick, and that bounce is what kind of led this one higher. Looking at the larger time frame on the daily, though, you'll see that we kind of have double wicks here, and again, 2 wicks here. So even though we're getting a little bit of a pullback, I'm afraid it's just going to be to grab some more orders and kind of push itself a little higher. So I don't necessarily love the way that this candle formed up here. Even this one is not spectacular. I like this one a lot better as far as an area where I'd be willing to short. But we'll see what it does. Again, there is a little bit of news. That news does have the ability to kind of move it. There's nothing. I think everything tonight is gone already, right? Yeah, the 9:30, we have this kind of monetary policy statement still to go. So again, we'll see what they come out with that one. And again, the Chinese news, I don't think the Chinese news will move this one too much. I think at this point everybody knows. Put it this way, I don't have any faith that Chinese numbers are actually what they say they are. So if they forecast a 2.7, I think it's either going to come in better than what they want or dead on forecast. I don't think this will be a negative for them. And again, anything that's positive here will also kind of mess with the Aussie, which that could be what drives us forward in this next kind of push. That may be why we're kind of seeing the pullbacks here, is because they're expecting those good numbers and it'll push higher. Okay, like I said, don't necessarily love anything up here. This zone has already been kind of traced through. The area up here at 106.13 is really kind of what I like, probably the best in this kind of situation. Okay, looking at the Aussie dollar. Okay, now you guys can see, gold is up over 1,500. Okay. Again, we were in the 14s for a while. We actually broke 1,500. And you can look at it in this pair again. You guys can see a bit of a pullback, a bit of a push. So, we did get the breaks. We were talking before about having those 2 breaks. And again, you guys can see we did do the retracement up. At this point, though, it's just kind of grinding. It really hasn't done too much. It did go up. You guys can see where this black line is right now. It did poke through this top side. It looks like it kind of had a little bit of resistance, a little bit of a pullback off this lower zone. But again, that's like the second hit. So again, wasn't the best, and it didn't go very far to be able to grab some support. So it did grab up here and then pull back down again, and then it's just basically stuck. Okay, so it's literally stuck right at kind of this entry level, this entering kind of this little wick over wick right here. Okay, so we'll see if it's able to punch through that. Again, I mean, obviously this one has flipped, right? We are in an anchor break situation. Okay, we were in a downtrend setup. We were looking for something to go short, but there really wasn't that many great levels until we got. I mean, we marked it off last night, really kind of looking up into here. It's just riding, right? It's going up, and again, gold also went up at the same thing today. So we could have a continued day, particularly with U.S. news tomorrow. But we'll see. Like I said, I think if we can get up in this area again, have that alert set. This alert is set at 68.35. Have an alert set. Let's see what it does when it enters this zone. That could be a probable place for us to kind of turn and flip this, depending on what's built. But at this point, I mean, you have higher high, right, and then a low, high, low, and now we're going to be at a higher close if it ends right here. So it's rolling. It's continuing to push higher. Okay, nothing in here has given me kind of a signal that I'd be interested in shorting it. Even kind of this off this upper level, not really. Just this was not enough explosive movement really to want me to trigger anything. So if you're in it, great. You could be grinding this one up all the way from down here. But besides that, really not too many setups in that one. Euro pound. All right, let me check something real quick. Oh, there we go. All right, so it does look like I hit all time. Okay, so look, you guys are getting some bucks now. Okay, so you guys are getting KTS bucks. So we'll see how this works out. So you see, now it's kind of nice because now I can tell who's on. So I can see James over here. I can see some FX Jones, some Ernest, VK, There's a couple people I don't know. And all the little icons. It's kind of funny. You guys are all just like squids and little people. Nobody has an actual icon up there. It's kind of funny. All right, so they're adding up, guys. So it is working. I'm not going to do any giveaways or anything tonight just because I wanted to see if it was working with the, the statistics, and it's working. All right, so we are still stuck at this upper buying area. Again, this is one we've had marked off for a while, right? It has not really kind of fallen down at all, right? I mean, it's literally kind of bounced back and forth. We had this one kind of short that came in here the first time we touched, and that pulled back, and now we've kind of gone up, kind of pierced it here, kind of came up, pierced it again, and it just kind of stayed sideways. Like I said, with no news today, this one really didn't have much potential for being able to move. Tomorrow is the day that I think will really make the big difference, again, with those GDP numbers. So, again, if you guys are, what are KTS bucks? They are winning lottery tickets, Ty. No. So I get to name them. We could have named them whatever we wanted, but I was not feeling super creative. So what happens is KTX bucks, if you're watching on Twitch, what it'll do is for every 10 minutes you get one, and you'll have the ability to kind of purchase different things with them. I just have one small test thing up there right now, but I was trying to add additional things in. Unfortunately, you can't see it on YouTube. It doesn't track you on YouTube, but that's okay. It's more of a Twitch thing. But you should be able to kind of, I think you will actually see it. So if anybody purchases anything with KTX bucks, it will pop up in the middle of the screen, so the YouTube people will kind of see it. But I haven't figured out how to put the bot over there on YouTube yet, just FYI. Come on. I'm trying, Ty. I can only do so much. I'm just one man with all this technology. And James won't help me with the technology aspect of it. I'm trying, man. No, I think there's bots. I'll just send you a message every 10 minutes so I know. All right, that works, Ty. I could do that too. We're gonna do manual KTX bucks for Ty. But I'll tell you right now, James wouldn't help me with technology. He was too busy, drinking out of mason jars and making money today than helping me. So, but yeah, I'll have it figured out. There'll be giveaways and stuff over there as well too. So. But yeah, so guys, this one is not pulling back. This will definitely be something to look into in this morning. Looking for any type of pullbacks. As I said, this was a nice burst through, immediately pulled back, but you can see the level pulled back to this 92.15 area. I mean, it was stuck here, right? Then it came, and again, you can see it. It was stuck here, then here, then here, then here, right? And then it based there for a while, and then it pulled back again, and that's still where it's at. So this has been a very, very popular area where it's stuck. And again, it's like kind of no man's land right now, right? So I'd be looking for any type of kind of retracement back up, any type of area over here. And again, we'll kind of see. It's funny. This is a pretty and again, racetrack, right? Large extended range candle, bigger than everything else in there, and what it did, it went right back to the start of the move. Okay, so even kind of this low news impact day on this one spike, it went back exactly where it was supposed to go back to. So again, strategies work no matter what time frame or kind of what period you're on. All right. I set up an avatar. All right, there we go. Somebody's got an avatar. There we go. Now we're rolling. You guys will eventually all have avatars. I can't change them, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would change your avatars, but we'll see. All right, so this one, guys, we're still looking, basically where to get short in this. Again, we'll look for the opportunity in the morning if you guys are staying up. I do definitely am still, I'm still bearish that pair. So, all right, so this one, okay, this one had a little bit of a retest, but it is still pushing lower. Last night when we talked, right here is the candle for 19. If we go back, we can look at, let's see, 19 is here. We had a little bit of a pullback, and all we did was go sideways and then collapse and go a little bit further. And now it's kind of reaching for some order. So, again, had you been in a short from before, you grabbed your, what was it, like 50 pips or whatever, or like 80 pips, I think it was, to the downside. Had you used your first profit target, now it's hit 1, it's hit 2, it hits 3, and that's when it broke through, okay? Off that level, right? You had 1 here, you had 2 there, you had 3 there. Actually, I guess number 4 is what finally broke. It hit sideways and dropped, and now it's kind of retesting off that same level. So, there definitely could be a short in this one overnight. Again, breaking through this level, it didn't quite clear the bottom yet, so I'm not quite willing to get short it yet. Again, your eventual target is still going to be down here at 117.85. Okay, but again, this was originally drawn off the single wick against the wall on the 4-hour. It did pop up. You guys can see it here. It never got a second reentry, so you basically had one shot. Even if you did your red, green, red, you were looking at entering the position over here at 119.29. So it's still rolling. Again, that's currency. Some of these things can take a long time. Again, it gave us the pop where we thought it did, and again, that was our profit target. And again, now it's trying to get entered. So Stop running back down. Here's the thing. Yes, you have the right thinking for that one, but if the zone was based off of here, okay, it hasn't actually left the area yet. Okay, so that's what you got to kind of wait. You would see this and be like, oh, it's pulling back. I should get short. And it hasn't left the area yet. It's got to fully break it before it can go through, or before it can retest, and it's just not there yet. Okay, it looks like it wants to try, but it's still kind of, again, you wanted to be short this one over here, and whether out here, or again, you're at the same position now, whether you be out or not. All right, so again, we're still continuing. This is turning into the weekly trade again. It's bringing it right back down to that kind of bear trap at 117.80. All right, euro dollar. So everybody, euro dollar had a blazing day. It was it's moved 12, right? Most of this movement is here. You guys can see on the 4-hour, what do we do? Lower highs, higher lows. All we're doing is consolidating in. And again, we did have this range back and forth, although it's getting smaller, right? This zone here bounced off of this area. Then the next one bounced off of this area. And then the next one kind of bounced off this, but again, we've pulled back down again. So kind of a hard, even trying to figure out where this wedge really would be. Like I said, it's just consolidating from both directions. I am more bearish this pair. I do think we will get some good U.S. data. I just feel like we're going to go out at the end of the week, and again, end of the week, I feel like they're going to want to end this thing on a high with some king dollar, and again, king dollar will drive this pair back down again. European traders will be out of the market, so if that's how they want to end the market for the week with king dollar in there, guess what's happening? It's going down. Okay, and again, I still think my first profit target in here would be 112, 113. I'm sorry, 111. 111.30. Sorry, the numbers are small. I still wish I could make these bigger, but the 111.30ish area would be kind of where my profit target is to this first line here. Second one would be down here, and again, still hasn't hit that top, and now it's going lower and lower. You guys can see it here, and then here, and then here to the downside. So it's like wah wah wah. How'd you miss this one? But again, it hasn't blazed all the way back down again. It's not like you've missed out on 200 pips. It's still doing its thing. Okay. It's there again. Like I said, it's a summer day. It's a summer doldrums day. It's just not a big mover. And again, you guys, it's reflected here. 2 wicks up and down. Look at the body. For Wednesday, it's nothing, right? It's just a body. At least there's been a little bit of movement today, but all that did was retrace us back down. So again, no trend, right? Go to Euro Aussie. Okay. Now, Euro Aussie was retracing, right? Okay. You guys saw that there was the bit here. Okay, there was your first target, right? First target went sideways and then continued to push lower. If you look on the 4-hour, that's exactly where it is right now, is where your second target would need to be. Actually, your second target probably would have been here. This would have been your third. Okay, so again, it's kind of stuck on that area. And again, looking at this, we talked about it before. This thing went straight up, almost straight up in the air, and it's going to have to retrace at some point. And it did. It is retracing. You guys can see, again, your red, green, red would have been entry here. Here was a nice little base. It pulled up and actually grabbed that base. And again, the reason we like this one is because it shot in with 2 nice, good, kind of no-wick candles sideways, and then it accelerated out of there. This one isn't as good because it kind of came and then went sideways in a red, and it was kind of like red, and then drop. This one was at least a green, and then it started to accelerate. So this was the better of the two, and it completed, and then it's going lower, right? So where we are now, again, I don't see any major areas. Like the only one I saw was kind of like here. And again, we did get a bounce off of that, a small one, but all it did was go up, grab more orders, and then continue to push down. So it's kind of stuck at this range, this area right now. And that's really, in looking at this, okay, here's a pullback, here's 3 big greens, and those are the 3 biggest greens, probably besides that, although they have wicks. These are probably the 3 biggest greens besides here and here. And this had a pop, and now we're kind of stuck at this one, so we're seeing the same type of pop now. So I don't see too much holding this back. Again, it is technically in an uptrend setup, but it did kind of bounce off an area to the left, okay, that we were looking at. Not the best one, but again, it's pushing down. I'm half expecting there to be somewhat of a green day here as a pullback before we make a push back down. I don't think it's just going to head straight down in a red all the way back to the start of this move. Unfortunately, yeah, see, there was this piece here that this one spiked to. Really, I don't think I have really anything clean in here until this 165.40. It's about 110 pips from where we are right now. So I mean, it can do it in a day, but we're starting to run out of real estate. It is Thursday night. We're running into Friday, so I don't know if we're going to get another setup on this one before the weekend. Maybe, maybe not. Trying to see what are we going to have to the downside. Big question is it going to be able to blow through this? Because this is where we're stuck right now. You guys can see it shot it all the way back up, grabbed orders, came back down again, and actually is rallied back and forth. So, and now it's stuck. It's going to depend on whether we can clear this one or not. Like I said, large candle here to take over, a large candle here to take over. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit of a kind of a speed bump here. You're going to have a bit of a speed bump right here as well. Okay, so again, a little bit to capture, a little bit to capture, and then we have this big piece to capture down here. It's like steps, right? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. We got to see if we can clear this area first. This is a pretty nice little level right here. Okay. That's a pretty nice little level. I like the way that's formed with the red. Then there was a solid green, and then it just launched up. Okay. It's actually kind of a hiccup. It went up again and then shot, but that's a nice that's a nice exit to that area. Demand is holding in this one. Yep. Yep. All right. So, yeah, not a setup on this one. This is going to be a runner, but I don't necessarily have it yet. Like I said, I'm liking these areas to the downside, but we're just a little bit too far top and bottom to get there. So, let's move into pound yen. Also, while that's loading, guys, it looks like September, the very beginning of September, is when I will start taking over the Tuesday mornings for Nadex. So for those of you who don't know, I do a broadcast. Somebody was already doing Sunday night, which I'm okay with because with kids and stuff like that, it's just easier for me to have my Sunday nights off. But I do Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. I do kind of a half hour kind of a week prep. And they want me to do Tuesdays now as well. And I told them I would, but that's not going to start till September. So it'll be 7:30 to 8 a.m. in the morning before any of the news releases out, so you can kind of check levels real quick. It is quick. It's only about a half hour. It is recorded. I try to get it up on my stream as fast as I can, but Nadex is pretty good about it, about getting it up there as well. So you'll start to see that coming in September. There'll be 2 different nights there. As well as I'm going to start doing kind of a series of webinars for them, and the first one is going to be on parabolic retracements, like the Raster X. So if you guys feel like you need to kind of polish your skills on that one, make sure you get registered for that one. Okay. Pound yen. Okay. I could try to make this seem really, really big and really, really powerful, but it's basically just sideways. We are completely engulfed. It's basically down. Sideways downward bias confirmed. Again, we missed kind of any type of entry here. It would have been nice if we would have been able to get into those right here, right? And again, this is a time a couple of you have asked, right? I said set this alert. So we missed here, right? I believe it was Q, maybe you? I don't know. I think it was you, right? Well, I was saying that you could either grab the body, or that you can grab the wick at the top, the wick on the body, or the entire candle. Had you done the entire candle in this one, you would have got into the trade. Okay? You would have been in it here. You would have been in it here. You'd have been able to ride this thing down twice. But again, when you're choosing just the wick and the body, it kind of limits how much you're going to get. So didn't get in, right? We missed it here. We missed it here. So you missed all this piece down, right? You missed this. That was 195 pips you missed out on. And then on this side, you missed out on another 164. Okay? So it's kind of one of those things you got to figure out. Am I going to take the risk or am I not going to take the risk? Right? So it's kind of one of those things. In this case, you didn't. Had you drawn it the same way that I did, you missed out on both of those trades. Okay. Again, obviously there was increased risk by doing that, though. That was Lou talking about that, I believe. So do I sign in Index to watch it? No, you don't have to sign in Index to watch it, Ty. It'll be on their channel. It's a webinar you can sign up for, and it's reoccurring. So you sign up one time, and it does you like 4 weeks in a row. If you go to the website and look on, I believe it's events, there's a link over there for Nadex, and that should take you to the sign up. All right, so where we are right now, again, basically just sideways. Nothing really kind of spectacular in this one. Haven't been able to break the lows. We are getting slightly higher, higher lows, lower highs. Again, this one will be a mover tomorrow, though. So tomorrow morning, again, mark off this area. And again, I deleted it, but again, put that alert, set that alert right over here, somewhere around 130.20. Okay, that could be the spike that you're looking for to get into this trade. Okay, that line right there, 120.30, could be the alert that you need, right? Because this is a nice little 4-hour zone. We didn't get there, so we know there's buyers sitting right. I'm sorry, that we know that there's sellers sitting right above it because we didn't get there, and then it got forced down here. The next spike with news could literally be to pop this up. We know it's about 190 pips. It can move that with something as big as GDP. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely get into that. If price spikes back up, take a short to the downside. Okay. And again, that would be that would be pound strength, which is kind of what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for in the euro pound currency pair as well. Okay. We're looking for that one to go down, this one to go up. Okay. That's kind of the best I got. To the downside, I probably wouldn't take much to the downside at this point. Like I said, you can only beat this pair down so much before it just doesn't do anything else. You guys want me to find it? Hold on. I'll show you where it is. It is... I may have to update the link for them. You go to events. This one right here. Let's see if it pops up. Looks like you have to do the new one. I'll have to update the link. But yeah, this is one of the old ones that I did. They have us all in here. Gail does them like every other day. Yeah, I'll find out. I'll get the new registration link. And let me see if it's under here. Upcoming, here you go, right here. So I'll update that link. If you go into here, and you just put your information here. And what it does is, I think it's reoccurring. It'll go for 4 weeks in a row. All right. Actually, I can hear. I'll put it in the here. If you guys are trying to get signed up for it, I'll put it there, and I'll put it there. So if you guys want to get registered for that, go ahead and do that. Okay. Pull that out of the way. All right. I also did update some things on the website today, guys. If you know anybody that does not have a demo account for Nadex, go ahead and get them signed up. Tell them to go to the webpage and click the link. I tried to update it to make it as easy as possible. All right, so let's move to the next one. Pound dollar. I swear these guys are slower to load. All right, pound dollar. No surprise here. We stayed. Look at this. I mean, I'll make it big, right? Look at that. That's what we had yesterday. That's our Wednesday candle, right? It kind of went up, kind of went down, but the body's the same. It's like 2 days in a row, right? So hopefully today we finally break out of this box. Like I'm saying, between GDP and manufacturing, I'm hoping for a spike in this one. I can't wait for a spike in this one. Everything is beat up. They're already preparing for negative. Everybody says it's going to be bad. So at this point, I really want the number to be good so this thing gets some true strength, drive the dollar down, get this spike up. I'd really like it if we can get up into at least up in this area. That'd be great to retrace this area. Give us some, kind of movement up here. But I will look for a retrace. And like I said, I'm hoping that Boris Johnson gets a Twitter account sometime soon. That will be great, so he can start messing the pound up. But I don't know if it's going to happen. But right now, again, we need to get out of this blue area before I'm willing to do much. If you really want to get overzealous with your alerts as well, why did they widen the spread on Nadex? It seems that the only one making money now is Ernest. No, it's James. James is the one that is. Well, here's the thing. So, yes, they widen them, and again, dive into that. That's great, Vic. I'm glad that you brought that up. So they widen the spreads, and yes, they made it a bit more difficult. But volatility has been interesting this summer, right? Some days it does nothing, and other days it goes absolutely crazy. So for the market makers, it's been a little bit difficult for them, and they're still trying to make money too. But here's the thing. Yes, the spreads are wider at the money, but if you're going out of the money, you get some nice things. So again, you just have to be able to adjust, and this is a conversation that what I had with people. And again, I haven't finished doing all the editing for the old 30-minute trader courses that are coming across to the new site. But I have updated some of the content. And again, before we were focusing on, $40 and $50 risk because again, the spreads were good. It wasn't hard to kind of move into that area. Now they're a little bit wider. So what you do is you change your strategy a little bit. You go more into kind of the out of the monies and you get, $25 to $35 risk on there. And when it doubles and goes up to like $70, you just take yourself out. You go, grab those two to ones, That's the way to do it. Don't hold it till expiration. If the spreads are wider, you have more of a chance to have that thing kind of whip back on you at the end of the day, and it does. It does whip back on you. There's many times, and again, look in the forums, and James will be like, "Yep, that one. If I didn't take it off early, would have failed." So again, go with out of the money. If you lose, you're taking less risk, right? Because you did out of the money versus something that was closer to at the money. But if your analysis is right and it moves, that price goes quickly, right? And time value is on your side because there's still, you have the volatility and the time that adds up. You take them off at 2-1. Sometime, I think James got like a 3-1 today, and those are awesome. If you can I'm sorry, it was Ernest. If you can grab a 3-1 out of an ADEX contract, grab it. You're crazy not to, So, I've been taking a piece. It moves a bit in my favor. Holding versus expiration. Yeah. I stopped holding expiration a while ago. You guys. Again, I was ready to stop doing alerts in January. There's just too much stuff going on. And again, what was happening is that spreads were widening out. So I was having to take myself out of the trades early, and my working. I was using my working orders based off of what I was seeing in the charts. But there was just no way I could keep up with it all. It was just too much. But that's really, the beginning of the year is when I really started switching over to doing more out of the monies than at the monies. And again, it changes some of the strategies around a little bit. And again, it happens. Okay. Yeah, 3-1 is great if you can grab it on an ADEX contract. You only have $100 to work with, so it's got to be under like $25 to be able to grab one of those things. But it's possible. It's absolutely possible, guys. Okay. Now, it's awesome, and again, props to James and Ernest for throwing themselves out there like that. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, I cannot put anything up there like that about myself because of compliance. Because they're worried about swaying people based off of this and unrealistic results. If you guys post stuff, that's great, but I can't do any of that stuff with compliance. So I definitely appreciate those guys doing it. You guys can see that it works, and again, they're using the same strategies that you guys are. So again, know that they're doing it. You guys can absolutely do it as well. Okay. Unfortunately, for the things that I do for them now, I have compliance that looks at every single thing that I do, and they don't like that stuff. In fact, that was the original kind of, if you guys didn't know this, that was the original reason why we were splitting off, was because compliance didn't want anything that had to do with lifestyle marketing whatsoever. And unfortunately, MLT is very lifestyle marketing-ish. And they were like, nope, we don't want anything to do with that. I was like, okay, I give up. Yeah, it's 1-3 at 1:30 at night. Not a wealth builder. He's grabbing him in the middle of the day. Look today. He hit one at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon today, 3-1. Yeah, I got one now. Patience. Yeah, get in, get out. Absolutely, you guys got it. Yep. Unfortunately, Twitter can't see. And actually, I think I can put this on there. I think I can have the chat from Twitter scrolling across the screen, so the guys on YouTube could actually see it as well too. I believe I could do that one. Darn jobs. Yeah, I know, right? Absolutely, you got to watch out those job things, But again, guys, it's one of those things. I have the profits channel up there for you guys to hold yourselves accountable and go back and forth. I've never been, again, I'll show you guys things all day long. But I understand. I want to make sure that I do this the right way, and not that other people are doing it the wrong way, but I am very much I'm very much a compliance person, and compliance has certain things that they do and do not want. So again, I appreciate you guys doing it. If you have questions, ask those guys. Those guys are doing a bang up job. They're just absolutely just crushing it right now. More power to them. I'm super happy that they're doing it too. Okay. This one's basically a shot for us. So let's go over to dollar Swiss. And for me, this is why I like doing chart schools, because I can show you areas to look for and things that are setting up ahead of time. Because I'm allowed to do that. I'm just not allowed to. And you guys will notice I will post pip things all day long, but I'm expressly forbidden from putting any dollar figures up there. Actually, it's borderline. By me showing you the calculator thing in here, that's kind of like borderline. They're like, just don't ask us about it. I was like, okay. All right, so you guys can see another day of retracement on the Swiss, right? Down, back up again, and kind of just holding at that baseline, right around this 97.50 area. The one thing that I don't like about this now is, again, I like 3 wicks. 3 wicks is good, right? Because we have established, cleared, and reestablished again. I like the 3 wicks, but the fact that the bodies are so tiny and we have these two big wicks to the downside, it's starting to make me a bit nervous. Okay, you would not have been able to get in. You would have missed this other entry again, although the profit target was still good. But it just keeps sucking back in. You guys can see this yellow line. I mean, it based below it here. It based here. This time it kind of bounced off of it and crashed, but then came back and it just sucked in. So 97.50 being a very psychological number has been a very big magnet for this pair. Now, the U.S. data tomorrow. It will probably move this one, but understand this is more of a kind of flight to safety type pair. Again, North Korea shoots missiles. China does something with an aircraft carrier. Iran shoots a drone down. We shoot a drone down. That's what this pair tends to move on, news-wise. And again, a lot of stuff happens on the weekend as far as that goes, but technically speaking, where we are right now, again, we've been at this top section. This is the third time we've been to this area up top. I don't know that it's going to hold a fourth time. 4 is the magic number a lot of times when things break out the top, in which case it looks like it's going to go back up into this area, right? That's the first time we see anything. To the downside, I mean, we can look back, but, we're over in kind of this mess over here, right? You can see that we've gone down as low as this, right? Which also happens to be the bear trap right here. Okay, so we know that there are some buyers down here waiting there with the bear trap, waiting for it to shoot price back up again. And that's what it did. It hit, it went up, it spiked all the way up, and then it's pulled back down again. So I don't think there's any really true momentum right now. I think everybody's just waiting for the next tweet to come out, or next news report to say, hey, here we go, shooting missiles, knocking drones down. I mean, who knows, A friend of mine sent me a funny meme the other day that, Trump sent that I guess that tweet out something about, ASAP, but it had like a dollar sign in there or whatever. And it was like, this is, Trump felt like Drake or something like that afterwards. It was a pretty funny meme. I don't remember the exact thing now, but yeah, we get a funny tweet tomorrow, then yeah, this could move, but you can't predict that, It's just, who knows? It is what it is. Going to dollar CAD, this is one of the big movers today. Okay. And again, dollar CAD, I think will be a mover tomorrow as well. Again, you can see this one was basically the retracement. We talked about it yesterday, right? Yesterday we said, okay, we're up here. It's kind of tickling up. It didn't make it all the way again. We wanted to see if it would go all the way back up again. It didn't quite make it before it retraced. Again, here's the 19 where we are right now. Okay. Here is the 19 where we were last night. And we mentioned it. We said, you guys remember this purple box? I said, I'm looking for this to retrace back down. If it does not make a new high, and again, that would have been in here, right? Because we are right here at 21. We'll go back and look at the next 21, which is right here. Okay. Again, if we broke below this, I said we were looking to take over this purple area. What did we do? We hit it, we kind of teased people, and then we just drove right through and have stopped. And again, we've stopped at this little level right here. Okay. So again, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Again, your target for any type of retracement would have been the start of the green move. And that's exactly where we were, right? This is kind of what that webinar is going to be on that's coming up, guys. This candle right here had no wick on the bottom, almost no wick at the top, straight up over double the ATR. Definition of a racetrack. We're looking for, what we're doing is we're looking for a retracement to the downside. Now, again, it did take some more time, right? There was your pop, and again, it did what it was supposed to do. It did come back down again. The only clean part of it, though, that I liked was actually this purple circle. The purple square. We'd been near this little area here. It came and retraced and then broke through again. This area did exactly what it's supposed to do. It came to the start of the push, right? This red candle right here, and you can see it based off of this area right here. It popped up, it grabbed more orders right here, and again, if you were playing this retracement, that would have been a trade entry for you today, right? You would have taken this pop right here, right? Because we were heading down, right? Here we're going down. There's your pullback, and there's the collapse, the fast collapse. Okay, so there was a way to get into this one to the downside on the retracement. Now, again, taking that, it would have been a little bit kind of sketchy here, a little bit weird here. But again, this is what we talked about last night, taking over this purple square, and it did. It went down. It did what it was supposed to do. So now we're in an interesting place. Okay, going into the news tomorrow. Again, this red bar was drawn off the daily. Now this is kind of what we're looking for. So this is the start of the move, right? That was the start of the last kind of the big pop, right? Let me click the thing, get it in the right place. No, not that side. It's killing me. Okay. That is now the buying area, right? This is a demand zone right here. Okay. We are starting to grind into it. Okay. We are currently, let's see, what are we? We're about 13 pips from that area. Okay. I would love, and again, it's possible if we start to go sideways and get a little bit of bounce, but if we can be in this 4-hour zone in time for news tomorrow, that kind of increases our odds and to get this thing to be able to bounce. Okay, I like that one. I think that wouldn't be bad. If we can get any type of a retrace now, that would be that would be kind of nice too. But if we can go down and end right here overnight, I got to start looking at that and saying, this could be an interesting trade to take to go long. And again, it's retraced. It did turn off of nothing. It got really, really close. Again, we wanted it to go all the way up to here, and we never got an entry because they just kept whipsawing back and forth. It just nothing was clean here. And again, we were leaving it up there to see if we'd get it. We didn't. But again, it gave us the retrace. We had a lower high right here. Okay, here was our first attempt. Here was our second attempt, and then we broke through. Right, and again, you could have got it down here. This would have been kind of the same entry zone, right? This piece right here. We broke below. Here, I'll just drag this across. There was your zone, right? There was your zone. I'll extend it all the way across. Boom, boom, boom. Got another entry right here if you wanted to go further. I mean, honestly, the best way to play, had you been trading this one yesterday, if you were taking this entry right here, your first target would have been here. Actually, you know what? I'll do this one. Here would have been your first target. Hold on, that's not straight. There you go. There's first target, right? Second target would have been this one. I'm trying to make it straight, but it's not. There we go. There's your second target. Okay. And why would that have been your second target on this retracement? Well, here's your first zone that you saw a pop off of, right? So easiest way probably would have been to capture this, which is about 30 pips. And then the second attempt, it's already been through here. It's already hit once. It already hit twice. You're expecting it to break down a third time. And again, it went down very fast and kind of collapsed through. But your second profit target would have been here. Okay, so it would have been about 100 pips total between those two different trades that you could have taken to the downside. Okay. Yeah, ASP is a gangster rap group. Yeah, there you go. See, I'm glad that you're here because I don't know. I will admit I don't listen to gangster rap too much. Sorry. The Uncle Don indicator. Yes, I need the Uncle Don indicator. That would be awesome. I think James is secretly working on that one. The Uncle Don indicator. Yeah. Oh, that was weird. I hit the one button and it kind of bounced on me. All right. So that's what I'm looking for this one. Any type of retracement to the downside. But again, that's how you would have managed this one to the downside in 30-minute positions. The 71, again, this did it in what? 1, 2, about 3 hours that moved 70 pips. So there was a potential, depending on how you timed that one, to play that one with 2-hour binaries. It did give you, let's see, 1, 2. You did get about 46 pips on that one, okay, in 2 hours. Now, 46 pips is a couple strike prices differentials apart on a 2 hour. So that probably was a pretty nice trade to be able to take based off of that area, okay? Depending on when you timed it. If you did it, for the first entry, that's about 7:30. It probably would have been better here at 9 to take it for news this morning or any type of for the open. That would have been the better opportunity to take it. Again, 2-hour binary based off of a level. Again, it was the momentum breakout, a breakout, retest, and then collapse. Again, wait till 9 when the market opens so you have the most liquidity, and then boom to the downside. And again, it dropped 46 pips, multiple brackets on that one. Okay. No secret. Wait, what? I'm trying to keep up with the chat here, and sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't do it. Hold on. Awesome. Help page. No secret, no more. Oh, okay. I was like, what? It's like, what is he saying? All right. So that's where we stand with this guy. Like I said, I'm looking for this bottom area tomorrow. Not a great 4-hour zone on the top side, but if we do start to spike to the bottom side, again, for me, this 131.46, mark that one off. Any spike to the downside, I can see us kind of bouncing and using that as kind of a launch point to bring us back up into this red circle. So if we do have a spike down, I'd look for a retrace back up about to where we are right now. All right. Looking at dollar yen. Go dollar yen. All right. So dollar yen. Obviously, we have a red candle right now. We have a green candle here, and this green candle is inside the red. So we are sideways, we are engulfed, and we are downward bias confirmed. Okay, on the daily, because we are lower than the green. Now, looking at the 4 hour, again, we have kind of a lower here. Again, same thing, same type of trap. The trap worked a second time. Here was the first trap and launched higher. There was the second trap and it launched again. Didn't go quite as high, but it still would have stopped people out. Obviously, kind of the definition of sideways movement. Again, you guys can see that first zone would have gotten busted there. Okay. And again, but here's the thing. Had you put that zone on with a binary, you were fine because it wouldn't matter. There's no such thing as a stop out. It's just your expiration cost. So, that's kind of the one advantage again for Nadex that you would not have gotten stopped out at this lower level. Okay, it would have went higher, it would have been worth less, but again, it came down almost immediately, right? Right? And then started to push back down again, you would have been profitable again. So, yeah, nothing with this one. I'm sure this one will be a mover tomorrow. Again, going into Friday, we'll see if there's a, manufacturing, or the, what is it? It's not manufacturing tomorrow for the U.S. It's core PPI. Okay. Again, that could be something that the news wants to talk about. And again, that could be a driver for tomorrow. Like I said, after this, the week we've had, we had a crazy week last week and then this week. So, yeah, I think we'll have some movement in this one tomorrow. But again, we got to get some movement here. Really, I'd like it to push back up again. I'd be happy if we could get back into this 106.90. I would be looking to take a short off that area if we could get up. But we do have the bear trap kind of sitting right below this zone right here, so just be a little cautious with that one. We've already seen it once. We've seen it twice. Third or fourth time is when I'm thinking we're going to break, but we'll kind of see what, where that's coming. Looking at CAD Swiss. Now, CAD Swiss will be, it probably should move tomorrow with the CAD news. It may not be the biggest mover, but it'll probably be some. And again, this just had kind of the same thing, somewhat of a retrace day, right? We had that kind of on the 4 hour, that big kind of push down. And again, it spiked down, came right back up again. And again, it's kind of pulling back into that equilibrium position that we saw before. Okay. Now, you guys will see that we did have kind of a level here. We are kind of sitting in it right now. But again, all it did today was kind of retrace back up again. So can't really say, again, as of right here, once we got to the green and we got a red, we were in an uptrend setup. Okay, uptrend setup. I'm not looking to sell anything inside of a demand zone at that point. I'm looking for, really the opposite. I'm looking for it to be pulling back, not driving forward. So, again, just make sure that you follow those things. Again, here it's and again, this conflicting signal, right? Downtrend setup, but over here you have an uptrend setup. Okay, you have conflicting signals, and again, this is going up. So, just be cautious with CAD Swiss right now. As far as tomorrow goes, I think up in the 74.00, I think we're gonna have a little bit of problems. Although it did go pretty deep into the zone. Next clean entry, it would be up in here, the 74.40 area. Okay, that'd be the next more or less clean area. This one is, like I said, it went all the way to the tip here, so this would be the next one that's clean. That would be a pretty easy viable entry. Okay, CAD yen is definitely something you guys could be trading tomorrow. As that's loading, I'm clicking the all time and the current. Do you guys see how many? You guys see where you are on the leaderboard? You guys have 6 pips, or you guys got 6 KT. I was going to call them pipettes, but then I figured anybody else that was external would have no idea what that means. I figured some of you would laugh, but the rest of you would be like, "What is that? What is a pipette? I don't understand." But yeah, so you guys can see the KTS bucks. All right. Yeah, it's just still retracing back again. It's nothing. Again, we have buyers kind of lining up below. Again, still in a downtrend setup situation, but we don't have anything clean until we get up into this 80.65, about 50 pips from where we are right now. ATR on the daily for this one is it averages about 50, so it looks like it could get to that zone up here in one day. So that may be where we're looking for a new spike. You guys see? There was the trade setup. Okay. This little piece up here, this little box, this is not a bad zone. That's not a bad zone if we can get a spike into it. And like I said, that entry starts at 80.50. So I guess it's about 30 pips from where we are right now. And again, ATR is about 50. So I don't think it'll grind that far overnight. but it could give us a viable entry tomorrow for a bit of a retracement. If we can spike up into that area, that could, especially if we just kind of grind up and don't put any nice little levels in here, we pop up, that could be a nice little way for us to get short and kind of continue this into the downside. Yeah. Yeah, the pip bet thing drives me crazy. By my calculations, I've earned 5 so far. That would be correct, because that's what everybody else has. Well, 2 people have 6, but yes, you are correct. You have 5. Yep, you have 5. I don't know if Vic is still on. I think Vic jumped off again. He's only got 3. Vic, are you still out there? It says you only have 3. Vic's probably, I don't know if Vic's here or not anymore. Vic was. Maybe he's not. He could be. All right, so waiting for that to pop up to here. All right, that's what I'm looking to do. Let's go over to Pound New Zealand. This is the, okay. All right, you are here. Cool. All right. Nightmare on Trade Street. All right, so this is Ernest's pair. So obviously Ty has claimed all the Swissy pairs. So this is Ernest's pair these days. Again, huge pop up, and this thing is just grinding. I'm trying to go all the way back down, but man, is it taking its time right now. It's just taking forever, right? And it's still not there. I mean, it's got to go. I mean, it's really got to go down to what, 186.60 to get there. Again, parabolic retracement, right? This thing shot straight up in the air, huge thing. Ernest was all over this thing. I preferred the New Zealand dollar versus this one, but went straight up. Again, you guys can see the entry. There was a wick over wick here entry that you could have came in, and again, it's like watching paint dry at this point. It's like da, 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 and then boom, it dropped down. You're like, yes, movement, and then it was flatline again on us. It's like, oh, really? So I mean, if you're in this one, yes, you are positive still. It is moving. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, look at this. It's like, boop, boop. I mean, right to the same area. So I mean, it's just. I mean, I can draw the line right here, and you guys can see it's there. It wants to go, right? I mean, it wants to go back down to. Whoops, not that one. It wants to go back down to here so bad, right? I mean, probably there, right? Yeah, that matches up on that side. It wants to go to there so bad, but at the same time, it's like, no, not yet. I'm there and just holding it, right? So this pair will absolutely, without a doubt, be a mover in the morning. It tends to be one of the more volatile pairs. I mean, you guys can see, like, you know, on average, it has about 140 pip. You know, if I take the middle area, it's about, when it's slow, it does 120. When it has an average kind of volatile day, it does 140. When it gets really crazy, it does 170. So it absolutely, without a doubt, can throw one of these in tomorrow with a bad GDP number, or even a manufacturing number. This one is going to be crazy, and you cannot trade this one with Nadex. This is a spot currency pair only. So my advice to you guys on this one would be absolutely, without a doubt, look for the retrace. If you see a big spike, set up another retrace like we had here. Okay, multiple ways to do it. Failure to go higher is creating a zone, establishing a risk right above it like you could have done on this one. You know, wait till you get the confirmation with a red. I mean, here's 3 ways, right? First way is find the failure to go higher, right, which would have been right there, and that becomes your zone, and there's your entry. So you could do it this way. There was your failure to go higher. There was your retest of that zone. And again, you can either do the entire piece, take a little bit more risk in it. In this case, you could have. You know, there's your one entry, right? Entry number 2 would have been here. Okay. Actually, entry number 2 would have been here. Okay, that's entry number 2 because that gave you the confirmation to the downside, right? You had your red, green, red. And confirmation number 3 was based off of this zone. It came across, came back up and retest. And that was the breakout of not only the wick over wick, but this. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to get the thing in the way. It's just not working. There. Okay. So those were your 3 options. You had this. There's number 1. There's number 2. And there's number 3. So 3 different ways to get into this trade. Okay. Could have done the same exact thing. Again, do the same thing tomorrow. Okay. If you do see this big spike, you figure out which one makes the most sense for you and take one of those 3 confirmation entries back down to the bottom side. Okay. And again, remember to use this type of target. This is actually a pretty good example because there's so many different kind of setups for this one to take these. All right. How you guys feel about that one? Are we still doing trade contests or no? Vic, I haven't set one up for the new company yet. Obviously, the trade contest for the old company, I'm not part of that anymore. So, obviously, I'm not even in that Discord anymore. I was thrown out of that Discord. So, yeah, not over there. But if you're on the new Discord, then yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, I'll probably bring those back in September when things get moving more. With summer with my kids home, it's harder to keep track of everything because I'm watching them like nonstop. But when they're back in school, I can do more things like that. I'll start doing giveaways and I'll start doing trade contests again. Third option is what I took. Wanted to clear it. Yep. Yeah. See, it's just 1, 2, or 3. It depends on your risk profile. But absolutely, Vic, I had fun doing those things. I really enjoy the trade contests. I enjoy doing the giveaways. I can actually install the giveaways right inside of this thing, so you guys can you'll hit exclamation point giveaway, and it will give you tickets. And these bits that you're getting right now, or the KTS bucks, you could actually use your KTX bucks to buy more entries into the contest. So say I decided I'm going to give away a book or a mentor session or something like that, or I don't know, a month of trade analysis. That's one of the things that we have that I don't really talk about, but I'll do you could get for a month, I will, I'll analyze up to 5 trades a week or something like that. I'll break them down from, you send them to me, I'll break them down for you and give my pros, cons, what I thought you could get better at. You could use those in that drawing. You could use your KTS bucks that you're earning by attending these sessions to be able to purchase those. So that's why I installed this up here. There's a lot of cool things that we can do with it and have fun with it. And again, Ty, just for the record, when I do one of those contests, I know that you're a YouTube guy. I can actually give you KTX. As long as you sign in, I can change the totals that you have. So as long as you log in, I can give you more if you're going to keep track. As long as I know you're around. But again, guys, this is the education lesson for today. 3 different entries on the same pair that you can get on this one. And again, I'll probably screenshot this one because this is actually a pretty good example of 3 different ways you could do it. Okay. All right, let's go down to New Zealand dollar. Now, earlier this week, I took the New Zealand dollar instead. I'm only YouTube while at work. I'm okay with that, Ty. I appreciate that you're here at work. I'm sure your boss doesn't, but that's okay. But yeah, I will be able to, as long as you log in sometime and once you become on the leaderboard, Ty, I'll make sure I give you those credits, buddy, because I love you. But good deal. I'll make sure my presence is known. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yep, get yourself over there. I'll make sure that I sign you the right number. All right, so again, similar situation, big piece down. This one has actually been even slower, and again, it doesn't move as much. Okay, the pound New Zealand definitely is a bigger mover than the pound dollar. I'm sorry, the New Zealand dollar. And again, it's retracing a lot slower back up. Again, a little bit more painful. This one only moved 100 versus the other one moved like 220 or something like that. So letting this thing go back up again, definitely looking for, when this gets back up into the 65-20 area, I'd be looking to short it. And this one, again, doesn't move as often just because you don't necessarily have news. You guys can see on the daily, it gets stuck in trends and it stays there for a while, okay? But look at the size of all these candles versus what we hit here. Okay, this is obviously 2, 3, 4, even 5 times larger than what the average is. This one candle, just to measure this candle out so you guys can see what it did in one day, it's 180 pips. Okay, look at the ATR on this one. Okay, the ATR average obviously is down here, is about 45. So definitely a lot bigger, and again, that's what's gonna help in it. Again, it's doing its thing. It's going slow, but again, these are normal size candles to do this retracement. Okay, and it's grinding its way back up. It just taking a little while. And again, U.S. news will affect this. New Zealand news is what really affects it the most. Chinese data will affect it slightly as well, but not as much as what you see in the Australian dollar. Okay, so that's kind of what we got right now. Like I said, big things to watch out for first thing in the morning. Again, this. I think this is going to be the big mover of the day tomorrow. Again, if this is dead in the middle of the night and you're sleeping, then obviously, the CAD and the dollar news, I think, are going to be the most important. I don't even think there's too much. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing, even yellows, right? You have this GDP estimate, who God knows when that'll kind of kick in. This is all at the 4:30 time frame. You have a little bit of Euro data. Again, German trade balance and French industrial production. Again, those kind of matter, but again, it's super early and it's before the market opens over there. And again, housing starts nobody cares about. I mean, this is, those two are the trades of the morning and, what we're going to hit. So, all right. So with that being said, guys, obviously no chart school tomorrow night. It's Friday because there's no trading on Saturday. We will restart Chart School's back up on Monday, Monday evening. If you guys are around, go ahead and hit that Nadex link. Go ahead and register for that one. That will be on my channel sometime during the day, so if you just want to follow YouTube. If you guys can, make sure you go over to the YouTube. Do me a favor and hit a subscribe over there. Once we have 100 subscribers on the YouTube page, that one had a little bit of a delay because Google requires like seasoning of like 30 days or whatever. But once we get 100 subscribers, it makes the URL a custom one, so it's easier to get to, just like the one for Twitch. So if you guys could go over there and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. If you have extra accounts, go subscribe for me, just so we can get that thing faster. All right. That's it, guys. Have a good trading day tomorrow. I will be on Discord, and if you need anything, go ahead and shoot me a message. And if I don't talk to you, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday night. Take care.